You can make solid decisions about it. And if you do these things the right way, when the market goes up, you make a lot of money. If you do these things the right way, when the market goes down, you make a lot of money. I just made a shit ton of money shorting the market. I made a lot of money shorting the market in March, even in parts of April. But I made a lot of money in March just shorting the market. Then you take that extra money that you just created and you have more money to invest. So you don't need to. You can make money up market, down market, sideways, and choppy. Doesn't matter. The more volatility, the better in many cases. So you can understand those fundamentals. You can construct a portfolio. You understand a lot more clearly how does a global market function. What do you need to know, and how can you properly assess, what to do with these situations? If that's all you got, let me ask you, if that's all you got, what would that be worth to you? Just those first 4 weeks, if that's all you got from the program, what would that be worth? What would that be worth? What would that let you do? What would your life look like if you just understood that? What would your life look like? What would you finally be able to do? Things that you want to do that, if you're able to relax and understand just that, just the first half of, market fundamentals, foreign exchange, currency valuations, cryptocurrency, day trading. If you just understood that and you had a lot more confidence and competence, that's where confidence comes from. These idiots, I see these idiots, they call themselves self-help chodes of some kind. I see these idiots say that you can feel confident without being competent. How the fuck would that work? How the fuck would it work that you would feel confident in an area that you're not even competent in? You have to feel competent. You have to be competent before you have the right to feel confident. All right? If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're just going to be in deep shit. All right? So I want you to have that freedom. I want you to stop spending countless hours on shit that you probably don't even understand at the moment. And while you're procrastinating and spending time thinking about the wrong things, the people who understand the right things to focus on, they're getting the most lucrative investments. If you're the right type of person, I'd like you to be involved in those lucrative investments. I'd like you to get your maximum earnings in life, not some mediocre earnings, and certainly not the fucking minimal earnings. What would you pay? If you were in Moneyberg Markets Mastery, what would you achieve? Would you get your full total financial freedom? Would you just be? What are some of your goals? I mean, type that in and help me understand. What are a couple of your goals? What are a couple of your goals? And, what would you do with that total financial freedom? If you could do whatever you wanted with your time, what would you do? And what would you pay for that? I guess that is a better question. What would you pay for that financial freedom? What would you pay to have your time, to have your life, to have your time back? That's the most valuable thing money could ever buy you. Most valuable thing money could buy you, a couple things. You could do whatever you want with your time. Money is just freedom. I said this earlier. Money is just your freedom. Money is just your freedom. Nothing important, just your life. Money is your freedom. It's the difference between, feeling enslaved and showing up to do some bitch-ass shit that you hate every day versus actually doing what you want with your life before you die. Is that not worth a $250,000? What would you pay for your future freedom? When you're not paying $1 million for that? 20 million? Whatever it takes. The discounted cash flows. Discounted cash flows on your lifetime earnings. One fellow here says his left nut. Literally said that. He said, my $100,000, travel, pay off my student loans. My left nut, build an agricultural empire. I see you, Imran. I'm going to call you later today, by the way. Property ownership, $1 million. Mo says $1 million. Jaden says pay $100,000 for that right now. Whatever it costs. I had to make that decision when I was a child, man. I had to make that decision, like, what would I pay? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Sleepless nights for decades. Long time studying, exhaustion from studying, exhaustion from working, exhaustion from traveling to go meet the smartest people in the world, to be around the best people. some of the best decision makers. You know, Tyler says he'd like to have his financial freedom, and he'd like to open up a jiu-jitsu school. You know, have a jet. Another Richard says he'd like to have a jet, a mansion, some women, and some travel. So I don't know I'd like to do both of those things, actually. I do have a fucking mansion. I have got baller-ass penthouse. Women and travel is good. I don't have a jet. I have to suffer in first class and business class. Imagine my pain. I have to suffer because I don't have a jet yet. I could buy a jet, but it's not financially responsible. There's more money to make first. But I will buy one later. I don't know. I think it's the most important thing in the world is that freedom.